All right, now let's explore how to make farming attractive, efficient, and profitable for the next generation. Join us to have this conversation. We have Mr. Tunde Banjoko, the Managing Director, Banjoko Farms, joining me right here. And it's good to have you. Good morning. Yeah, quite an event you had over there,
yes.
This week, 2 days.
2 days.
And what you're trying to feed Nigeria.
Doing our best.
You're doing your best. Not an easy task.
Not an easy
With
one.
your 2 fish and how many loaves of resources?
Let's say 2 fish and 5 loaves.
So, what were the key takeaways, for you, from the event?
The key takeaway is that it's possible to feed ourselves as a nation. That's one thing we all agreed on at this summit, that it's possible. Putting the right tools, right policies, it will become easy, attractive, and I think the recent one I started using, like the president, the industry becomes sexy for everyone to be proud of themselves, that if you're a farmer, you can see all your dreams, your aspirations. We all have dreams. At least let's start with the basic one. You want to be able to feed yourself. You have dreams of going on vacation. You have dreams of living in a neighborhood that you desire as a person, that all this can also be achieved. And you should be proud enough to say, I am a farmer, without being looked down upon anywhere. You also want to fly first class in a plane, and you don't want to feel bad or you are emptying your account to be able to achieve that. So one of the key takeaways that we also were able to bring a lot of youth to the summit and at least see those who have done it, those who have gone ahead, and how they are achieving it, and changing the face of the entire industry to make it attractive.
Yeah, I guess the poverty side of it doesn't make it look
make it look attractive. And the orientation, and that's why we brought one of the speakers, Ireti Doyle, to let people see that we can have a good perspective of those of us who are in the industry. And
it's quite interesting. You had an actress, Ireti Doyle, there, and I'm wondering, is she a farmer?
She's a farmer too. She's into aquaculture in agri. So, and she's not the only one. A couple of them like that are into agriculture. But probably we want to start bringing them out for people to see that it's not just those who are illiterate. It's not just those who don't. It's like an easy entry business. People want to just say, I have 500,000. What can I do?
Right.
Agriculture. But we want people to see it as a business. And we also brought some guys also yesterday telling us how you can also even scale this business to a multi-billion-dollar business.
Right.
So that's what we are preaching, and that's what some of the takeaways from this conference.
It's incredible you mentioned that, because I have a little garden, in my compound that I'm tending. At this point, I have a few things growing there. I have pepper. I tried to plant celery, at some point there, but it seems the birds ate it up. So I lost that one. Then I have miracle plant growing. I have lemongrass. Nice. So maybe I'll become a multi-billionaire
from there.
From that little garden of mine.
One interesting thing is I've seen people converting their swimming pool in Lagos to fish pond.
Wow.
Even I'll shock you, Keja GRA or Pebi. Eyebrow areas that you'd have thought, people are saying, okay, how many times do we swim in this thing? When last did we get into this pool? Can we have something done? And people are converting such to fish farm. At least I've seen 1 or 2, 3.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah,
because the pools are not bad size, and you could make a lot of revenue from selling catfish. So you can put almost
10,000, 15,000, and just the control is even good. It's within your house, so you don't have to even travel down to maybe an hour, 2 hours. So the control, you can easily see what is going on in the morning. By the time you come back from your maybe regular business, you can see. And so even maybe your gate man can help so even your labor cost. So it makes sense for those.
Quite interesting. So if you don't know what to do with your swimming pool, turn it into a fish farm,
and
fish
you just
pond.
said something now. Let me also tell you, okay, I'm sure they can't know him, so they won't sack him. One of my account officers in First Bank showed me a picture of his garden at the back of his house. He said for the first 4 or 5 months, I've not bought tomato from outside.
Wow.
Showed me the back of. So these are some of the things we are saying. We want to change the narrative. People can get involved, and not until you break a bank first. That's not to say we don't need money, but we all need to start getting involved. Somebody who has done a bit and can see the outcome will be encouraged to invest more. in it, so we can, maximize our space, and we can all start getting involved than ever before.
Right.
We need to change the narrative, the perspective of agriculture in Nigeria. For a long time, government has made agriculture to be like, when people are crying, what do? Let's talk agriculture. Just give them one bag of fertilizer, they will stop. Give them one Congo of rice, they will stop. But we need, it's not just, what do they call it, empowerment. They want to empower 2,000, what do we need to? They don't empower us with oil and gas. They don't empower us with IT. But it's simplest, they just say, go and give them one tuber, let them go and plant.
So it's gone beyond providing seedlings.
No. It's gone beyond seeing it as keep quiet. A keep quiet tool. Where you say, they are shouting, what do we need to give them? Give them one Congo of rice, let them go and plant. They'll keep quiet. We should start treating this thing as a business. Like one of our panelists was talking about yesterday. You go to the US, especially, and Canada, and you see massive farms owned by an individual at 5,000 acres. But here, you can hardly get such size without having to bring your grandmother, bring your grandfather, probably maybe your maternal, paternal, you bring them together to be able to even afford. And how many young folks can even buy 1 or 2 acres from what they are making? And so those are some of the narratives we want to change, that if people are going into this industry, they have to be encouraged. They have to be encouraged. And like one of our panelists was also saying, we also price our farmers out of business. I'm saying this to the public. We price them out of business. Somebody has produced at a cost, brings the produce because they can't return it. Somebody was sharing at the conference, for example, a farmer didn't get good price at Ogbomosho for his cattle, brought them to Lagos. By the time he got to Lagos, they took the price on him. He had no choice. He can't take it back to Ogbomosho because he had incurred cost, a trailer load of cattle. He had to sell it.
But why not have some kind of agreement that
there's no agreement
that's
in
enforceable?
The market. There's no agreement in the market. It's what you bring, they price you most times. They decide the price most times. So those
How are you pay before I bring it down?
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work in that. Those are some of the things we are saying we have to change. In a situation by, I've been repeating the issue of commodity board. Can I go and raise my cattle? Tell the government, okay, it cost me $250,000 to raise each of these cattle. Can I get $350,000 on each of them? Can I get $300,000 on each of them? And then if the government can buy it off me or fix, like I'm told it's happening now, enforceable in Rwanda, that once they fix a price, anywhere in Rwanda, that's the price. That's the price. So once the government is aware, like I was having a conversation on one of my groups where we supply cassava, and the price of cassava is really down now. And it's almost below the cost of production. So most farmers that will sell to those processors might not be able to produce next year, or they will have to get some loans to produce. So we still have to bring this issue of commodity board, where if I'm producing, there's a bit of guarantee of take price to say, okay, if it costs me this amount to produce, then I'm going to sell at this price, then I can go back. But that's what people don't know. If you price me out of business, 2 things will happen. I'll either go back and produce and be waiting for when I can also eat you back in the market, or I'll be out of business.
So it'll be revenge transactions.
There'll be revenge transactions because so that's when people now say, there's exploitation, there's this. So I'll look for a market also where they are wait. That's why people hoard. That's another conversation. Why people will keep products when there's, abundance, keep products. They know that a time will also come when products will be off-season, and then they too, instead of selling at the regulated price, they will also say, Laddie cheated me 2 months ago. I'm going to make back what he took from me because I want to remain in business. So we need to, that's part of the conversation we had, that people should also be merciful on the farmers and not, while negotiation is part of business.
Well, how about we're just merciful to each other, at this point, because there's also that whole story about fruits being forced to ripen, with harmful substances.
I think that doesn't happen at the farm.
Yeah, it doesn't happen at the farm. That happens at...
That happens with the retailers.
With the retailers. So how do we tell those retailers to stop that?
is to, sensitization cannot be left out of this. The same way we have people going to the farm to sensitize farmers on best practice, this is how to do it now, this is how to get better yield, this is how to get better result. We have the FCPC going around to protect farmers, consumer prices. So we need to also do a bit of, in most markets you have their market leaders, either a man or a woman, but most things in Nigeria have been politicized. Not just people. Before, it used to be somebody that people respect in the market, a structured market, somebody they respect among themselves, that they think, okay, this person is a person of wisdom. This person is a person that is maybe a bit educated. This person is somebody that is, well organized. They say, okay, that is our market leader. So with whatever he tells us, we will do. So if we still had such structures, it's for us to now tell those people, do sensitization for them.
Stop forcing the fruits to ripen.
Do sensitization for them. So, but now they just pick somebody either in the market or even outside of the market and force it on people because it's now a political tool. So that when it's time for election, you just tell them, deliver your market people and all that. So that is an aspect. Then also for the traders you mentioned, because I'm trying to balance the conversation this morning. Why would they want to force something to ripen? Okay, some of these people rely on what they sell daily. If they don't sell in a day, some of them might not be able to take anything back home. So probably what they have, they are not guaranteed of. And you get to the market at times, part of what they brought the first day got spoiled because nobody bought 2 days. So you have tomatoes, nobody bought, or nobody was willing to buy at the rates at which you are willing to sell. So now, you have to now force some to probably get ripened. I'm not supporting the process, please, so that I don't tell people.
Exactly.
I'm not, but I'm only saying maybe that's some of the things that motivate and pushes them to want to have such, because there's no. And then the issue of storage, we can't over-invest. In some markets now, gratefully, there are some medium-sized storage, but I'm not sure most of our regular market people patronize them. I think the educated ones patronize them, where people have, but funny enough, I have one of them in one of our local markets in Lagos, who was also located to the US, got out of the business, located to the US. She put one in my 12, where people can come, store their fresh produce, and then they can move it at any time they want. Of course, somebody who is keeping such facility, it will be maintained at a cost. So you must also be willing to pay for such. But people would rather, instead of paying that extra cost at times, would rather say, no, I'll keep it myself. So it's a really, it's all intertwined. So the person running the storage needs to be encouraged with power. Because if there's no power, she'll have to rely on generator or solar.
Which is also expensive.
Which is also expensive to install.
Right.
So you can see that we can't talk about all these things without talking about finance. We can't talk about all these things without talking about policies, regulation.
So the whole value chain needs,
the whole value chain
a lot of upgrades. At this point and help.
We need government.
Right. And I did draw up some data. Youth in agriculture, the average farmer age about 50 plus.
Yeah.
Youth under 25, about 60% of the population. But the average farmer is about 50 plus. 50 at this point. Post-harvest losses, you did mention that 4 to 60% of losses, about 3.5 trillion yearly. Agri-finance, about $10 billion gap, yearly. So, at this point, it's an aging farmer population. These are the issues they have in Europe now, where they say the population is aging. That's not just the farmer, but the general population. But we have a humongous youth population in Nigeria. What are you seeing going forward? Do you see, with the policies you're seeing so far, the youths actually finding it attractive? And what more can be done?
I'm not sure they are finding it attractive at the moment. They are not.
But I know they like Agritech.
That's what I'm saying. So they like Agritech, but how many of them can get into the Agritech space? You understand? So we need to do more. That's actually why we brought Ireti Doi this year. We need to do more to let them see. Some of the, they want to see the stuff that is endearing. They want to do a lot on their phones. They are not ready to go to the bush like me. Let me give you an example. Some of them, when they call and say they want to do IT, I sent one to a friend's farm to go and do greenhouse with them. She got and said, I can't stay there, sir. I can't stay there, sir. I said, this is just few minutes from Ijebu-Ode town, about 10 minutes from Ijebu-Ode town. That's not a bush. People are already living there. It's not, people are living in the environment of the farm. I said, no, that's a bush. So you see so many of them, they are not ready to go into the primary production aspect. So, but I think one area that is a bit attractive to most of them is greenhouse vegetables. So, but it costs a bit to set up a proper greenhouse. Like we have a friend who does a lot of training for them, thousands of them every year in Abeokuta, trains them, put them on training incubator for about 3 months, 1 year. But we need to set up structures that can accommodate them. But I think the good thing is that some states are copying that model in Abeokuta, and I think I know of Nasarawa, I think Abuja, and some other states. So we need to support somebody who just graduated, or who do we call a youth? Somebody of 20, 25 who just graduated do not have such resources to set up structure. The structure they want, they don't have the resources to set it up.
Exactly. All right, let's see how we can make the bush attractive for the youth. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunde Banjoko, Managing Director for Banjoko Farms. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Laddie.